Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Today we are talking about relationships. We're talking about soulmates, twin flames, the phrasing that I really like, which is soul matches. I'm going to share a little bit of a personal story, some of the dangers of the language, just my perspective and opinions on them, and how we can understand this to, as always, harness it, utilize it for our greatest good, our most authentic timeline, and make sense a little bit of it. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Sarah. I am a channeler and an astrologer, and I do spiritual coaching, and my intention is to offer you accessible information that you can whittle your own tools to put into your own toolbox. I feel as though so many people are having their awakening, for lack of a better term, which kind of means like what we thought made sense doesn't make sense. What we thought was reality is not reality. What we thought was doctrine is not doctrine. And everyone's learning how to do their own research and really find what resonates with them. What I also find in this ever-changing world is that, just like what I'm about to say, everyone is allotted their own opinion and perspective. My disclaimer, that's always in the bottom of every video, and I say it as often as possible, is that none of what I'm offering you is doctrine. I want you to do your own research on everything that I say and take what resonates and don't take what doesn't resonate. Like I say all the time, it's a cafeteria line. It's a continental breakfast, if you will. So don't get caught up in sitting in front of something that's not for you and screaming at it for existing. Instead, just take what resonates with you and move along. And so the intention of this video was, we're not talking about astrology today. I might offer some channeled messages if they come through. And if you're new around here, as I'm talking to you, my guides show me pictures and images over here. I have a more galactic screen over here, and then a past or future life screen over here. Just in my normal functioning mind's eye, thank God for the TISM, I'm able to see as many screens and have as many tabs open as possible. And so, on my Monday lives, I always ask if you have questions, and at any time, if you have a question about a video, if you have a question about a topic that I haven't covered, please just let me know and I can do a whole video on it. So a few weeks ago, someone had asked about soulmates and twin flames and what my perspective on that is. And so I'm going to share a personal tale that I shared with that person about when this was way before my awakening, when I was in a relationship with a person that I thought was my soulmate, the one and only soulmate. At the time, I had more of the cliche thought that you only get one. And this person at the beginning of a relationship was charismatic. It was like, I know this person, we were supposed to be together. We were equated to we went to a wedding once, and the coordinator of the rehearsal dinner thought we were the bride and groom because of how bum-bumch we were. It was a good time. It ended up being one of the most verbally abusive relationships that I've ever been in. Extremely codependent, extremely toxic. I mean, I was high the entire time, and it was not. I had, in those days, a big Beauty and the Beast complex. And so I'll just leave that here. But every time anyone would ask me, Sarah, why don't you leave? Why don't you leave? You're not actually communicating with him unless you're at his therapist's office. You can go. And my phrase every single time was, he's my soulmate. I know he's my soulmate. It has to work. He's my soulmate. And so I would let anything, literally anything, go. Because in my bones, I knew this person was my soulmate. And the reason that I share this with you is because he was a soulmate. My cat is my soulmate. My family members are soulmates. Every person that I'm engaged with across time and space, y'all are my soulmates. So when we take that narrow view of my soul has one mate that says we have to be together, in this lifetime. We have to find each other. We have to be together. It's a very dangerous language. Again, these are my perspectives and opinions. And if you're new around here, this is my Multidimensional Caffè. It's really just you and I having coffee and tea, and we're talking about the awakening. We speak from I statements. These are my stories, my tales, my perspectives and opinions. So you're welcome to share yours, and you're welcome to share your opinions and your perspectives. My whole I won't share any more of that, but my playlist, my Waking Up Post Woke series, that's my human story. So if you're interested in more of my personal tale, that playlist is for you. The term twin flame gets to a little bit more, because I thought that person was my soulmate even before I had my awakening. So I feel as though that language can be accessible for people and misconstrued even before you have a spiritual awakening. So the term twin flame, and I thought about doing some research on this, but I don't even have, I have both my journals here, but none of them are open. Neither of them are open, pardon me. The term twin flame gets to more of the spiritual side of things, where it's like before you even came into this planet, it was one. And you separate, you come to the planet, and then when you meet, you're complete. You get to do your thing. You get to do whatever it is that you came to this planet to do. And it can become this every day, I'm not complete because I didn't meet this person. I'm not good because I didn't look the right way. I didn't follow my intuition the right way. I didn't take a left when I meant to take a right. I didn't go to the right cafe. I didn't wear the right clothes. I didn't do this. Every day you can become this less than version because you aren't with your twin flame. You can get lost in the delusion that there's a part of you that's missing. Where in essence, in my personal practice and perspective, we are all God having a human experience. We all came from the one consciousness, and God got bored and wanted to experience itself, so here we are. And I use the term God brazenly, so you can use universe, spirit, source, whatever resonates with you. I just use God. It's concise. And so God got bored and wanted to experience itself, have a polarity-based reality, experience free will, all of these things. So in essence, with that understanding, aren't we all twin flames? Didn't we all come from the one and separate to find the balance of how we all interact and exchange with each other? So there's no incompleteness. You are whole by existing. You have met the people that you're supposed to meet by existing because you're on the planet interacting with those people. And so I feel as though, I've seen that cults have been made. I've seen, all different in the spiritual realm. I can guarantee you'll find your soulmate. I can guarantee you'll find your twin flame, or twin flame this, or twin flame that. And I have to also honor that I've met human beings on this planet that are meant to be together. And they can call each other soulmates, they can call each other twin flames, whatever it is. But you just see this energy, this vibrancy. The archetypes, that's what I wanted to mention. That they were just born to be in that relationship. I've seen people that met when they were teenagers and they were like, that's the person that I'm supposed to be with. What we fail to see is their journey leading up to that moment. And we're judging the individuals based on the relationship, not knowing how they feel about themselves, not knowing any of the inner story, not knowing any of the path that led them to there. And in essence, we're judging it. We're saying, wow, that's something outside of what I have, that they have, that maybe I want. So, I'm just listening to my guys. So the phrase that I utilize, and I have a video in my public playlist, the longer range transits, and I think it's also in the toolbox, which is called 2024 to 2027, The Changing of the Guides. And I talk about the 3 levels of soul matches. I love the term soul match. And this is why I really hope that I'm able to wrap this up nicely. This is why, if you feel like you've been doing work on yourself, you haven't met the person that you're supposed to be with, you're getting a little lonely, you're feeling like, and I apologize, I'm realizing in my last few videos, I've been like touching my hair. It is far too long and it is overdue for a haircut. So I apologize that I'm just like a little bit like it's a beast right now. So my apologies. I'm aware that I'm overly touching it. So I just wanted to highlight that in my video. I've been doing work on myself. Where's my person? Where is my person? You can meet someone at any level of inner work that you're at. I always give it a scale where it's like I'm 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, or 10 out of 10, you know. But if you're feeling like I am still in my Rocky montage, I still have work that I want to do on myself, there's dangers to both of this, so I think I can do it. I'm, working on myself, I have goals that I want to really, really do, but I'm really lonely and I want to meet someone. And you recognize that maybe you're foregoing some of that work. You're not doing things that light you up. You're in a job that you don't like. You're, eating food that makes you feel crappy. You're, just really just not focused on your compelling vision, focused on your meaningful mission, focused on your, future self, in my language. And you're like, oh, I want to meet someone. That level of energy is like a bird song. And that level of energy that you're at, you can meet a match at that level. Someone who's equally not really fully working on themselves, not really fully going towards their dreams, maybe not fully in their divine feminine or divine masculine, still unpacking some mother-father issues, maybe, still dealing with past situationships or not really having healthy boundaries or not having all of these things. You can meet someone at that level. You can. And you will be a soul match for them. You will be a soul mate. And you will learn the lessons that you need to learn at the level that you're at. Because when we experience God in another, it will challenge you. It will bring things up in you. It will be beautiful, safe, but also very triggering at the same time. That's how we're meant to be in this world. We're meant to keep developing. We're meant to keep learning and growing. At least at my table, we have a growth mindset around here. So I'm only in competition with the Sarah in my last breath. That's it. I'm not in competition with you. I'm not in competition with anyone else. I'm trying to better myself. I'm trying to reach as many people as I can with my meaningful mission. Truly. And so my purpose is to empower the powerful leaders on this planet with metaphysical practices to really put into their toolbox. I work with leaders, with spiritual entrepreneurs, with people that are, with artists, with people that are going places. And I really help them unpack efficiently what's going on and give them a safe space to express themselves. It's a powerful thing. And so that's my goal. That's my focus every day. And I can't be deterred from that. That mission is important to the world, not just to me, not just to my home and to my personal vision and to my bank account, not in any way, but to better the world. It's about adding value to the world, and that's how I can add value to it. And I'm excited for the day that I meet someone to share in my joy and my experiences and my wins and losses and everything with. But right now, he's doing his thing as well. And I don't want to rush that. It's the same way that when we say good friends are busy friends, good partners are busy partners. People that are really shifting and changing and doing things in this world, they've got a goal and they're working towards it, and it's beautiful and it's wonderful. So if in my darkest moments, I caved into the loneliness and said, okay, let's do this, I could find someone at that level. Not to say that I'm less than, but to say if I'm trying to find something external to fill what's inside of me that's not fulfilled, I will always be let down. We have to fill our own cup. We have to fill our own inner buckets. We are responsible for ourselves. No one else is. No one else is. So the phrasing that I love, soulmate is beautiful. We're all soulmates. We're all soulmates. I personally don't use the term twin flame. It's just not a part of my practice. Not to judge anyone else that does. Some people have the person that they desire and that is to them their twin flame. I have no judgment on that. This is my practice and my perspective. I find that in many seasons of life, that language, if you have not yet met that person, can make you feel less than. So when we work towards having a healthy soul match, and it's very much it's not just Dr. Joe Dispenza language, but, make a list of all the things that you desire in a healthy partner and become them in your own way. This person is healthy in your own way. This person is prosperous. Find prosperity in your own way. This person loves to cook. There you go. This person loves to travel. There you go. All of these things that you can write down to have a North Star. And you just naturally meet people that are in that realm. You naturally meet people that are in those circles, whether it be online, whether it be in person. I also have to share a personal story that one of my dearest and closest friends on this planet right now, I've never met her in human existence. And we have a call every week that has been so beautifully integrated into my life, into her life. And it's a lovely way to have a friendship, but we've not yet met in personal life. So when God has a person that you are ready to meet, and that in the grand scheme of things, I'm going to get to archetypes in a second, you're supposed to experience in time and space don't matter. The universe, God, spirit will connect you to, without question. When it is time, it will just happen. I made a comment once it was when I had just moved, and I was a little bit like, and an old friend from my old town, she's like, Sarah, don't forget to go to the cafe. Don't forget to go out. He's not going to find you at your house. And I made a joke about it on YouTube. And I had a subscriber comment, and this person was like, yeah, I said that too. I was like, no, what did she say? She was like, I made a joke to my friend that he's going to have to come to my front door because I ain't going nowhere. And he did. The person that she was subletting her apartment to ended up being her soulmate, the person that she was supposed to be with. Her soul match. I'm using the terms that person utilized. So, but she's like, yeah, this is the person that I'm supposed to share my life with, and he came right to my door. So when it's time, you can't stop it. When you are ready, and when you had, in essence, have earned it, it'll happen. There's a phrase in leadership and entrepreneurship that makes me work hard every single day, which is, what if I told you that you were 10 failures away from your, 0 to 1, your first, 10,000, 100,000, whatever it may be, $1 million. What if I told you that you were 10 failures away from that? You'd probably shoot your shot a lot more often. So it's not about God being this disciplinarian in the sky saying you haven't earned it yet. But maybe there are certain things in your life that you're looking for in an external person that you yourself could be providing for yourself, that you yourself could be filling up. Maybe it's about self-worth. Maybe it's about, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, maybe it's like you have some self-esteem issues. Maybe it's about health. Maybe it's about your diet. Maybe it's about community. Maybe you can't expect, maybe it's about hiring a coach or hiring a therapist or a healer or someone for you to really talk to. Community is important right now, especially with this Neptune transit. We can't isolate right now. We can't isolate. So archetypes are so beautiful. And so when you're an archetype on this planet, and granted, I, made negative derogatory comments on Beauty and the Beast, but there are, like the tarot, perfect. There are archetypes, like the major arcana, that there are people that play in this world. And, there are the fools, and there are the empresses and the emperors and the hierophants, and, the hermits and the high priestesses and the empresses. And there are also the lovers. There are relationships that when you see them, you're like, that's what they write stories about. And we desire to find our own version of that match, that we desire to share our life with another. And so I ask you, are you taking action steps towards carving space for a person? Are you putting yourself in situations to meet other people in ways that aren't outside of what you would normally do? So there's a channeled message that I got a while ago, which was, I forget if it was in an all signs reading or if it was, I can't remember. I don't remember, but I remember it as clear as day right now. I don't remember where I said it, but so I want you to picture like, okay, I'm going to put myself out there and I'm going to go sit at a restaurant. I'm going to sit at a bar, but I don't drink and I eat mostly organic. I don't eat gluten. I don't eat sugar. I don't eat canola oil, and I don't eat any of these processed foods. So it's going to be kind of, like tough to sit in a bar and on a busy Saturday night and not like, and I'll bring my book, and I do that all the time. I bring my little Irish fairy tale book with me when I go out with myself. And so say you want to meet someone and you're like, okay, I'm just going to put myself in the bar, but it kind of like lowers your vibration a little bit. And you're like, I'm really uncomfortable here. This isn't what I want. This isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't feel good about it. And then you ask yourself like, okay, well, what would my most aligned, most authentic version of myself do? And now in that channel, I like saw you and you're like, it's the full moon. I'm going to get this delicious takeaway. I'm going to like write all my specificities in the order. I'm going to order it, between 5:30 and 6:30. So I know that the kitchen can handle it. And, I'm going to be dressed up as I'm waiting in line for my takeaway. And I'm going to be like vibing because I know I'm going to like just watch this really great movie, or I'm going to put on Ancient Aliens and it's going to be great. Or I'm going to just go like swan dive into Return of the King, the extended edition. Like whatever it may be that just jazzes you up. And then you meet someone waiting in line for takeaway. Because this vibe is different than like this vibe. So know that you can't mess up what your soul came here to do. You can't mess up. If you want to be in a healthy partnership, you'll be in a healthy partnership. But we can't rush it. We can't rush it. There's this beautiful content creator, and I cannot remember her name, so I'm so sorry. But she's almost just like, catch it, like that one, like amazing. And there's a really vulnerable video that she put out a few months ago about that, about, yes, I would love to be in a relationship, and yes, I would love to meet him. And she gave this great analogy, which was like, when you're cooking dinner and you're really hungry and you take the chicken out of the oven before it's done cooking and it makes you sick. If you're waiting patiently for your partner, let them cook. Let them cook. Work on yourself. Do anything that you want to do to better yourself. Not for them, but because they're working on themselves too. They're off training dragons. They're off doing their thing. They're off creating their business, doing whatever it is. But fully, just let them cook. Let them cook. And you can pray for them. You can send them love. You can talk to them. That's something that really shifted things for me in meditations, or if I'm going for walks in the woods and I'm talking to God, and I'll just, ask my king, like, how are you doing? How's life? And I talk about my life and what's going on for me and what I'm working towards, and just have those open conversations and really get used to that conversation. There was a time that I wouldn't even talk to him. And so we can't, just like we don't idealize our future self, and we've talked about this a bunch, where our future self has all the money and the success and the relationships, all the things that we ourselves desire, and we put them on the pedestal. We're like, oh my God, they're so shiny, they're so intimidating. It's like, no, you're intimidated. So start becoming that version of yourself. That's you. That's you. So we can't put our future partner on a pedestal, just like we don't put our spirit team on a pedestal. We talk to them. They're right here in the room with us. We're all on the same team. And so reminding yourself, and really practical things that you can do, when you declare that I am ready for a healthy partnership, I am ready to welcome in the energy of a healthy divine partnership into my life. And then make space for it, but make healthy, practical space. It doesn't matter how old you are, but I feel as though if you're here watching this video, you are, dating for a long-term relationship. You're dating to marry. You're looking for a soul match. You wouldn't be here if you're just like, I just want to fling. So we're not rushing into anything. We're busy in our lives and we're carving out space for others. So as many healthy content creators as I've seen that talk about healthy dating, and these aren't in any way just spiritual people, like the Daddy Academy, bless his heart and soul. Oh my goodness, he talks about healthy partnerships. There's a few different divine masculine content creators, especially on Instagram, that I watch and follow, where leveling up, taking care of yourself, looking good, feeling good, wearing dresses, put on the heels, look great, you'll stand out, I want you to. And also reminding yourself, this was something that the Daddy Academy talked about, which was once a week. You're going to be going on a date once a week. And that's it. To really understand that it's not about like, oh, I met someone. Now I can just like unbutton the top button. I can stop working on myself. I can stop this. I can stop this. It's not like that. When you meet someone, you'll constantly be bettering yourself because you're constantly bettering yourself now. Who you are is not going to change. But I also want to highlight that if you feel as though when you meet someone, certain aspects of your life will change in the sense, I will stop doing this. Why are you doing it? If you're not doing it for yourself, I want you to really look at that. Like, I want you exercising because it feels good. Because I like the way that I feel. I want to be healthy. I want to love the way that I look. I want to enjoy that, not for another, but for myself. It's about the self-love, and the way that you feel about yourself saturates through your skin and body and goes into this world and saturates into the way that you dress, into the way that you have a home, the way that you treat your car, the way that you treat the people in your life. And then it will attract the right person that's of that similar vibration. And this is not about aesthetic. It's not about like opposites or anything like that. Like, you can attract an opposite aesthetic. You can attract, and this is like, it's a whole other can of worms when it comes to the astrology and finding a match within your astrology. A whole other can of worms. Because I feel like it's about your mastery of yourself. There's not like perfect astrological placements. There are ways that synastry can work that say, oh, these are advantageous or these are good free-flowing aspects that partners can have, but it's how you are. There's evolved Aries, there's unevolved Aries, there's evolved Taurus and unevolved Taurus. Every single one. I have videos on that in my toolbox playlist, the guidance playlist, I think, talking about that. So it's not just about the astrology. When it's time and you are desiring to meet someone and you're working on yourselves and you're loving where you are as you're focused on where you're going and you're enjoying your own company, it'll happen. It'll happen. But this is about God's time, not our time. not our human's time, but on our soul's time. I'm just thinking, there's so many other components that I could share about this, and really putting the analogies of, it's David Guillaume, I want to say, when he talks about manifestation, and he talks about like bringing in abundance, like financial abundance, where he equates us each to a light bulb, and we're like a 40-watt light bulb, and we're trying to bring in, like 140 watts. If we manifest that without doing the work to become the vessel to hold that voltage, wattage, we're going to pop. Not going to go so well. We're not going to have a good time. So becoming the vessel, it was one of his phrases that I really shifted within my manifestation and with my conversations with God, which is, God, help me become the vessel to hold a healthy relationship, to hold the energy of a healthy partnership. What can I do today to become that version of myself that is aligned to a healthy partnership? Instead of, please send my soulmate, please send my twin flame. It's a different vibration. We're taking radical personal responsibility for our thoughts, words, actions, and intentions. And practical things that you can do is, if you know you're going to date someone once a week, just like I'd said about the takeaway, if going out isn't the vibe, then get some takeaway and sit at the table and talk to that person and visualize, what would I be saying to them right now? What would I talk to them about? You can talk to them. If you want to watch a movie with them, then watch a movie with them. Whatever you would naturally do if that partner was right there. For many years, I've talked about this. What I'm about to say. There's a phrase, it's called the next day, that I've utilized for many years. So you can picture you wake up the next day after you've met the person of your dreams. And you haven't gone on your first date yet, or maybe you wake up from your first date or whatever it may be, and you just know it's the person. It's still you. You're still the same person. You can start to play into that vibration. You can start to feel into that vibration. How are you going to feel that day? How are you going to dress that day? You're going to skip down Main Street and just have a little bit of a smile on your face. Maybe start to do that now. Maybe start to become that happier person, with boundaries, obviously. And visualize those moments, and let it be romantic, and let it be beautiful, and let God surprise you with when and how it happens. The most infuriating phrase, I'll leave you with this, there's been many seasons of my life where I've been very like, when? God, when? And every single time, God just says, Sarah, it will happen when you least expect it. Bink, bink. I'm like, thanks. So, again, these are my perspectives. There's no answer when it comes to this. We are all humans just bumping around on this planet, on the crusted rim of a fireball shooting through space. Like, none of us have this figured out. But my hope is that you can take a little bit of clarity from this, maybe a smile or two, and recognize that you're not messing it up because you haven't met that person yet. Just love up on yourself. It's not just about doing work on yourself. It's about becoming your most authentic version. And that's not about work, that's about love. Yeah, going to the gym on a regular basis, it's not always fun, you don't always want to, but you're healthy and you love being healthy. Do you see what I mean? It's that balance. So when you're doing things that you love, you don't really want to rush it. So enjoy the joy of living. That's what this means, by the way, if anyone's ever. In every moment, enjoy the joy of living. With a nice protection on that as well. But I love you. Let me know what you think of this, and let me know what your perspectives are on soulmates and soul matches and twin flames. And have you met your match? Have you not yet met your match? Have you had experiences like my experience? Have you had really positive experiences? What do you think? Like, I personally believe my cat Sybil, I don't know where she is one of my soulmates, and that every single one of you are. So if you are a soul having a human experience, which you are, we all are, then we're all kind of in this together. So I think that's it. I love you. See you soon.